Okay, welcome back everybody. Hope you had a great week. This is going to be part 2 to my last video that I did where I was teaching you how to build a chord melody on a song. And we were doing this song, All the Things You Are, and I didn't do the whole thing because it would just take really too long of a video. Hopefully we'll try to finish this one in this session. We may need another one, but we'll see how it goes. So we left off basically around the 16th measure. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Around the 20th measure of the song. So basically, definitely watch the first video and learn that stuff first. So this is what we got so far from the first video. So now the next measure, the melody goes like this. Now this is going to be an example of an occasion where I'm not going to play a chord on some of those notes. Actually, on those 3 notes, I'm not going to play a chord at all. So sometimes when you do a chord melody, you don't have to put a chord on every single note of the melody. Some people like to do that to get more of a denser, thicker texture, but I just want in this lesson to let you know that you don't have to harmonize every single melody note. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play these 3 notes and then I'm going to put a chord next to it. So the next chord that comes up in the next measure is A minor 7, okay? And the 2 melody notes for that measure is D, C, okay? Now, if you know your theory, you would know that an A minor 7 doesn't have a D note in it. So this is an example of a time when the melody note is actually an upper extension of a chord. So instead of being like one of the chord tones, root 3rd, 5th, or 7th, it might be a 9th or an 11th or even a 13th. So in this instance, the D is an is the 11th of A minor 7. So what you want to do is you want to find that note where it is on the guitar neck, which is here, right? You want to find the closest A minor 7 form closest to that note, even though that note's not usually in that chord. So if I do A, okay, there's the closest A. So what you do is you just replace the top note of the A minor 7, which is normally a C, and you put the D on top. That becomes an A minor 11, okay? So the melody is going to go D, C. Okay, so we played the same chord and we just moved the melody around a little bit. 11th, back down to the 3rd. So we would go like this. Okay, now what happens next is that melody note bleeds into the next measure, so the chord changes. The next chord of the progression is a D7. So you want to keep that melody note going and actually switch the chord. So this is how you would do it. You go, let the C continue to ring, and then you go to D7. The D7 that's in that position would be that one. So you do this is D, there's the D. Okay, so now we have a D7 with the C on top. So A minor 7 with a D, and then D7. And then there's a couple melody notes that are basically not in the D7 chord. So what you can do is you can pause the chord for a moment and play those couple melody notes and then get back to the chord tone. So you're going to go the D7 and you're going to go E flat, E natural, and then D7 again with the C in the melody, right? So it's A minor, D7, D7. You got that? Okay. By the way, I hate using regular dominant 7s, so in a later lesson, I'm going to show you how to replace all these dominant 7s with more interesting chords, like 9s and 11s and some flat 9s and things like that. But we're, like I had mentioned in the other lesson, we're sticking with very, very stock drop 2 voicings. So the next chord is G major 7, and the melody note is B, okay? So you got to find a G major 7 with that B note on top. So if you hit this G major 7, then you go to the next one, there's the B on top. So for this new section for today, we're going to go A minor 7, the next few melody notes go D, G, B, okay? Instead of harmonizing all of those notes, I'm just going to play them separately. So when I go to G major 7, then I'll play the 3 melody notes. Okay, now the next chord is F sharp minor 7, and the 2 melody notes are B and A, okay? We're going to do the same exact thing here that we did when we did the A minor. So the A minor had the D on top, which was the 11th. Now we have an F sharp minor 7, and the note on top is a B, so that's also a minor 11. So we're going to do the same exact thing. So it's going to go, so B, A with the F sharp minor 7 chord, right? So it's going to go, okay, and then in the last section, the A melody note is going to stay on top, and we're going to switch to a B7. So we have to figure out which B7 matches that A right there. It's going to be this one. Okay, so you go, and then we're going to isolate the 2 melody notes, B, C, and then it's going to go G sharp, B, C, back to the A again. Okay, so it's, and then the next melody note is an A flat, the way it's written out, but we're going to call it a G sharp because the chord that it goes with is an E major 7, okay? Okay, so it's weird. In the melody on the paper it says A flat, but this is where we have to use our theory and think enharmonic. Enharmonic means we're using a different name for the same note. So G sharp is the same thing as A flat, and G sharp is part of an E major 7. So there it is. So from the beginning of this lesson so far, we have right, and then F sharp minor 7, B7, and then E major 7. Then the next chord is a C dominant 7 with a sharp 5. And if you look at the melody note, it stays on the G sharp, which is the same thing as A flat. Now, so if it's a C dominant 7 in that area, you would have this, but we have to make the melody note fit within the chord. So we're raising the 5th a half step. This is what they call a dominant 7 sharp 5. So it's going to go from E major 7 to C dominant 7 sharp 5. Remember, it's all about the melody note. To keep that melody note on top, we have to throw the C on the bottom of that, and that makes it a sharp 5, okay? All right. From this point on, it's a repeat of a lot of the A section. Okay, so I already taught you the A section in the last video. So we're going to continue, and a lot of this is the same, and when we get to the new chords, I'll point that out. So we're going to go back to the F minor, B flat minor 7, E flat, A flat major 7, D flat major. Now it changes, okay? So we're on D flat 7 with, D flat major 7 with an F on top in the melody, okay? The next chord is a D flat minor 7, okay? But the melody note's way up here, E flat, D flat. So what you would do there is you have to do an upper extension, which is a minor 9th. So if you play like a D minor 7 here, right? Or you can think of it this way. So like if you do like there's your D flat minor 7's right there for you drop 2 chords. There's your minor 9th that fits that, and then you go back to the root. So you're gonna go. You got that? So we're on D flat major 7 with the F, and then D flat minor 7 with the E to the E flat to the D flat. Okay. Now the next chord is C minor 7 with the melody is just a repeated E flat note. Right? So I'm actually going to use this drop 2 chord, C minor 7 right here. Okay? So it's going to go D flat minor 7, C minor 7. Okay? Now the next chord is a B diminished 7. Okay? So they're the closest B diminished 7 to this area where we're at right now, because we're here for the C minor 7. It would be this. That's a B diminished 7 chord, if you can see it on the video. But in the melody, it goes from a G to an F. So we're actually going to do an extension with the diminished. So we're going to add the pinky on the G. It's a really beautiful sound. So it's going to go. See how we're doing that? So this later part of the song, we're adding extensions in there, right? So it's C minor, B diminished 7, G melody note to the F. Okay. Now, you know what we're going to do? This next measure, it's B flat minor 7 again, and there's actually 4 different notes. This time, we will harmonize each note, just to show you that we can also do that too. Earlier in the song, we would just play a couple notes and then a chord, a couple notes, then a chord. But this time, I'm going to play a chord in every note, just for the heck of it. The melody note goes D flat, F, A flat, D flat. So we have to find a B flat. By the way, each one of those notes is a chord tone of B flat minor 7. So all we have to do is play a B flat minor 7 with each of those melody notes on top. So if we do this B flat minor 7 down here, I'm sorry, this D flat melody note, we have to figure out which B flat minor 7 is in that position. And that's going to be this drop 2 form. Okay. Now the next one is the F, which we'll play here, and we have to figure out which B flat minor 7 would be found right here. It would be this one. Okay. Then the next A flat note that we're going to do, I want to do it on this note, just for the heck of it. Okay, so we have to figure out which B flat minor 7 fits in this area. It would be this one. Okay. And then the last melody note is D flat. So we have to figure out which B flat minor 7 is on this melody note, okay? So we go up. Oh, it's that one. We already did that in the second measure of the song. So this is going to go, I'm going to call it the melody notes on top. D flat, F, A flat, D flat. Okay, so those are all B flat minor 7 drop 2 chords. If you don't know your drop 2 chords, you gotta learn them, because that earlier video that I did of that, if you learn those, then this wasn't that hard, right? So it's okay. Then you're gonna go to an E flat 7. We're at the end of the song now. E flat 7, and we're getting up there. Okay, it's gonna go F. Okay. Now, in the melody on the paper, it goes upwards. So it'd be F, G, A flat. Some people go F and then down to a G to an A flat. I'm just going to go up just to keep it the same melody going. So we're on an E flat 7 chord, and we have to have this F melody note in there. So you go through all your E flat drop 2s, and you wait until you get to this particular area. E flat, E flat, E flat. Okay, so that F melody note is actually not in an E flat 7, it's the 9th of an E flat 7. So what you do is you replace the top note with this F. Now we have an E flat 9, right? Okay, the next melody note is a G, which is a chord tone of E flat dominant 7. So what you will try to do is you get the next drop 2 form in E flat 7, which is this. There's your G on top, right? So you would go, you got that? Okay, so that, I'm going to go back a couple measures. So back to the B flat minor 7, last 4 bars of the song. Melody notes on top, D flat, F, A flat, D flat, E flat 7 with F on top, E flat with G on top, and then the last chord and the last note is the A flat root, way up here. Okay, we want to do an A flat major 7 with that root on top. Okay, Now you figure, how do I know which one to do? Well, if you know all your drop 2 chords, you just go A flat, A flat, A flat, A flat, and then there we go. All right? That's the stock way to do this. There's many other ways we could have done this that were better and more interesting, but this is the stock way. So I'm going to review from the beginning real quick where we started today and go from there. So it goes A minor 7, D7, G major 7, F sharp minor 7, B7, E major 7, C dominant 7 sharp 5. Then we're back to the beginning. D flat, then D flat minor 7 with a 9th on top, C minor 7, B diminished 7 with the G on top, F, and then B flat minor 7, and then E flat dominant with F on top, G on top, A flat major 7 with the A flat on top. All right? That's the end of all the things you are. So obviously, I hope you guys watched the first part of the video where I taught you the concept. I went a little bit faster today because you guys already learned the idea of how to do this, so we just finished the song. I'm going to come back at some point and do another video of this, and we're going to replace some of the chords and make some more interesting chords, so it'll sound a little bit more more interesting and beautiful. Okay? If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you enjoy this video, please hit the subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a great holiday if I don't see you by then. Bye-bye.